I was living in California by myself, and for about 3 years had a reoccurring numb left leg every month, and I had a chiropractor just tell me I had pinched nerves. Let's just put it this way. After I was diagnosed, about every month I had visitors. My brother and sister came down every year. My mom kind of cried. She was a teacher in Tumwater, still is, and, needed a lot of support. My dad sobbed. I just kind of picked myself up and said, let's just keep going. Every day is different. In fact, most people with MS, when you ask them, their loved ones start to realize that there's one response: I'm fine. Because it's so much easier just to say I'm fine than to tell you what new things are happening. If I can get up out of bed and I can stand on my legs and I can use my hands and I can speak and I can see and I can feel, it's a good day. I have probably hands down the best cheerleaders in the whole world, and my family first and foremost. I can't thank them enough. My wife, who has probably helped me define what I need Luna for. When you have something, it's hard to understand how you change because you just get used to who you are. But when you have someone who knows you and knows the transitions that you make, and they can point out your stuttered speech or your tripping or your kind of snapping versus the way that you might have been, it has been very helpful. My colleagues, my friends, my puppy, those are all things that have been real supportive. And kids. I always have kids that'll come back to me and say, because of your perseverance or because of just the way that you have a good, positive outlook, when they've had things, like Maddie Pfizer was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis many years ago, but we've stayed in touch, and she always comes back and has lunch with me once a year, and she's always highlighted how, no matter what, I always just try and keep coming to work and keep being here because you guys, I want to be here because I like interacting with you guys. You make my job better. Looney has her moments. Luna's great. The number one thing that Luna does for me is she just reminds me when I get really stressed out to calm down. And although some people would consider that as emotional support dog, whether they get it or not, service dogs, what they provide for us is a specific service. But for things like MS, stress is the activator. It's the killer. And so Luna can stress me out on occasion, but for the most part, she's great. And she responds very quickly when she picks up on an increased voice in a class. She starts to pick up on that stress, and she'll come over and alert me to it. You're a great girl. Yeah. Kisses? Kisses? Okay. She's like, I'm working. Yes, you are. You're working.